Human extinction, doom and gloom 1. The main human extinction ideas. The most extreme person talking about human extinction as an inevitable certainty is probably Guy McPherson at GuyMcPherson.com. YouTube.com/@naturebatslast. He's mostly a climate change guy. He thinks our temperature has already risen so high that extinction is inevitable. The magic number is supposed to be about 2 degrees Celsius, which some people say we're already at from some baseline that somebody created somewhere. They call it science, but it's uncertainty. Nobody really knows that if the temperature goes up 2 degrees, everything will melt, life will die, we will eventually die. It's someone's idea at best. The anti-climate change people say climate change is natural, ruled by the sun. It does what it wants irrespective of the tiny effect humans have on this vast atmospheric biosphere. I've seen many articles on the opposite side at GuyMcPherson.com and his YouTube channel, plus all the information through the term sixth extinction or Holocene extinction, which is grand central for the idea of an inevitable human extinction right around the corner. It's a big term with lots of videos and articles that I had never heard of until a few days ago. If you go to McPherson's YouTube channel, he seems kind of nutty with all those short videos, but if you watch one of his public presentations, he summarizes the big picture, that the powers that be tell us to cut down on carbon-emitting activities while they, the rich people, continue on full speed ahead with luxurious lifestyles and economic development. So at heart, he agrees with my view that capitalist excess has ruined the quality of life, but for different reasons. I liked life when I was a kid from the 1960s to the 1990s, when there was a spirit of freedom and adventure in the air and people could afford it in general. The city I grew up in has expanded almost 3 times in size with all kinds of multicultural people that don't love this country the way I did growing up, so the community bond is gone and economic development rules, which decreases quality of life. I'm against economic development because it ultimately lowers the quality of life. What's the sense of building new stuff non-stop when you don't enjoy it? That's really my beef with the modern world. To me, climate change is an excuse for people like me to say let's slow down the economic development and enjoy the aesthetic, natural parts of life. I would rather that my city lose 100,000 people so that there's more space to enjoy life uncluttered. I watched the YouTube video Dr. Guy McPherson predicts human extinction by 2030 at the Canadian Prepper channel and read the comments. Most people dismiss him as an extremist. If you really believe in human extinction soon and can afford it, you could become a prepper and survivalist. Live off the grid away from people. Figure out how to get your own food and water, but then you're an extremer loner. Most people are more communal than this. The elitists are destroying the planet through their greed, like the rich farmer in Brazil. He's already got enough money but insists on cutting down the rainforest to increase farmland to make more money. I watch the Trumps and all that cryptocurrency madness. It's all pure greed, because cryptocurrency is some fake asset somebody made up and gave value to, so millions of people out there want to make money on this idea that makes money out of nothing. Meanwhile, none of them are thinking that we might be destroying ourselves or the planet. Global dimming or aerosol masking is the idea that industrial production, even though bad, also has a positive effect to counter global warming. It releases particles in the air that help shield us from the sun, so if we lower industry quickly, we lose that positive effect, which further adds to global warming. You can type human extinction or climate change into the internet. There are extremists, but most people don't seem worried about it. There are several main potential causes of human extinction. The biggest idea the so-called experts are throwing around is that the world will increase in temperature from somewhere between 3 to 7 degrees. This will melt the polar ice caps and supposedly raise the sea level 7 meters, but more importantly, they say it will cause an exponential heating effect. The ice won't be there to absorb the sunlight, so the ground will heat up, causing a chain reaction. They say the permafrost will release carbon dioxide and methane, which pollutes the air. Think of the Arctic sea ice as the planet's air conditioner. If that goes, we lose the ice that absorbs the sun's rays, so the sun will then shine on that sea and land in the north and heat it up even more intensely now that the ice is gone. The heating effect will kill all plant and animal life in the oceans. Because there is no life in the sea, certain land animals that rely on the food will die off, and this idea continues on and on in a chain reaction. It's not all in one fell swoop. First the oceans, some coastal areas are flooded. Some animals and plants die off. This causes more plants and animals to die off until we die off. The way they're talking now, they're saying the bees that pollinate the plants are dying off. We're losing a certain number of animal species and plant species all the time gradually. It's all going to reach critical mass, then it will be too late. We have a food chain right now that delivers food all over the planet to retail stores and restaurants. What happens if there are massive food shortages? People will starve. Some people say that human beings overusing Earth's resources while polluting the planet could lead to destruction. Our air has a certain percentage of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and a few other substances. If this combination goes off by a critical amount, that's the end of breathable air. Some people say that all nuclear power plants will melt down at some time, thereby radiating planet Earth. A guy at the Ren's website, Yoichi Shimetsu, renzi.com/datapages/yoichidat.htm, has written articles about the decimation of the Pacific Ocean from Fukushima, like renzi.com/general96/fuku-nuc-pacific.html. People say a lot of things that aren't necessarily true. Several green activists have admitted to making up fake doom and gloom ideas in order to get hype. There was a guy, one of the former founders of Greenpeace, who said he made up a lot of fake ideas and statistics of the supposed urgency of the situation during interviews. He made up stuff off the top of his head. People believed him because he acted like an intellectual authority. I heard this guy in an interview on Richard Syrett's Strange Planet YouTube channel about 5 years ago or so. We still haven't found a good substitute for oil, gas, and coal. That's a problem even without considering climate change. There has got to be some free energy machine out there, as espoused in the Move Thrive. The scenario is overpopulation with a scarcity of food and resources for a comfortable life, like all the metals and plastics we use all the time. We simply can't keep making this stuff with no limits. Something has to give at some point in time. There is another possibility that we supposedly share Earth with extraterrestrials. Linda Moulton Howe started out in the 1980s investigating cattle mutilations in the Midwest, supposedly done by someone with seemingly advanced machines like lasers, because the cuts were so precise. Linda Moulton Howe now has a YouTube channel called Earth Files, where she has many videos with UFO abductees all the way back to Betty and Barney Hill and Betty Andreessen, saying that the extraterrestrials told them their DNA was dying. They need human DNA to reinvigorate their race. The idea is that human beings are going infertile too. We have things going on now like the claim that the amount of estrogen in tap water from birth control pills is very high. Many city water supplies have a recycling loop. When you let water out through the tap or the toilet, it circulates back into large vats that are chemically treated, then released back to the user, which is how we get chemicals in our water, including estrogen from birth control pills, which is why men are going infertile. They say human fertility rates are way down because of all the chemicals and pollution. Some people say extraterrestrials are here on planet Earth right now. Refer to the Travis Walton UFO abduction/rescue. They have the technology to take us out. A guy said just one supervolcano eruption could leave an ash cloud around the entire planet that could cut the sun out for several years. They call it the volcanic winter. Beyond these semi-realistic ideas, many other ideas seem like science fiction. There have been several movies about some pandemic of a contagious disease that kills most people off. I saw a Chinese politician say they won't fire the first shot, but if anyone threatens them, they have hydrogen bombs that can hit anywhere on the planet. The country of Israel has nuclear bombs. They have said if they're attacked they will release the Samson option. They will release all their nuclear bombs because they would rather kill everyone and go down with them than lose a war. They say there are around 13,000 nuclear bombs in the world. With biotechnology, some engineered pathogen could get released accidentally or on purpose to infect everyone. Technological singularity is the idea that artificial intelligence will reach a point where it says humans are the problem, we have to kill them to save ourselves and the planet. There have been several asteroid movies, an asteroid going to hit planet Earth. The sun will die at some point in time. Suppose the human race runs out of oil or electricity. Survivalists say 80% of us would be dead in a few months. Survivalists say if we're in a precarious situation, don't trust other people because we're evil when survival is at stake. Keep to yourself. Prepare now. Brave New World, a novel by Aldous Huxley, portrays a world of genetically engineered masters and slaves. In a brave new world, those billionaires you see on TV would genetically engineer themselves with superior genes and genetically engineer a servant race to do their bidding. The ecology global warming argument for extinction. They say that the thawing of permafrost in the Arctic will eventually lead to extinction. Biologists Strona and Bradshaw found that a 5 to 6 C global average rise in temperature would cause the extinction of all life on Earth. Their paper was published November 13, 2018 in Scientific Reports titled, Co-Extinctions Annihilate Planetary Life During Extreme Environmental Change. The idea is that as species and life go extinct, they affect human life negatively. Musso and Mahler said in the May 8, 2020 issue of Frontiers in Plant Science, the uncontrolled meltdown of the world's nuclear power plants is likely to cause the death of all plants. Sko and Pauly wrote, Jetwash-Induced Vortices and Climate Change, which refers to commercial air travel. It was published in Earth and Space Sciences Open Archive on August 3, 2020. They say aircraft travel causes heat. This heat alters the loss of water from the atmosphere. This would endanger all life on Earth, not just the human population. Rapid population growth and overconsumption are overburdening the planet. Many environmental organizations work toward reducing our consumption to a sustainable level. There are next to no organizations that work to end the challenges presented by continued population growth. Human population growth is a major driver of biodiversity loss, resource depletion, and climate change. According to the National Academy of Sciences, the sixth mass extinction has already begun. It started in the middle of the 20th century, during a period called the Great Acceleration. From pollution to the rapid increase in carbon dioxide emissions, humans have severely impacted the Earth. Can we work against the tide of destruction? Human extinction websites. Sixth Mass Extinction Event. PNAS.org. ArmsControl.org. EarthObservatory.nasa.gov. en.wikipedia.org wikihuman_extinction. FAS.org. gis.nasa.gov. Great Acceleration. igbp.net/global change. GregoryJLewis.com. Is happening faster than expected. CNN.com, the sixth mass extinction. LiveScience.com. LiveScience.com, human extinction causes. NationalGeographic.com. Physical.org, humans will be extinct in 100 years, says eminent scientist, January 10, 2021. RiskFrontiers.com. ScienceDaily.com. ScienceOxygen.com. ScientificAmerican.com, humans are doomed to go extinct. Will humans go extinct? TheConversation.com.